Oh, okay, okay. Oh, wait, no, where's our Edward mask? They took it away from us. They should give us a player masks back because now we're going to be heading into game number 5. The side will determine a flow. First 2 games, SRG. Previous 2 games, it was Aurora. So who goes where? If you had the choice, if you're Aurora, would you want to still go blue or would you want to switch it up?
I think it's SRG who chooses though.
Yeah.
So should we ask that question?
Okay, let's ask that question.
Ready? If we're SRG, what side? 3, 2, 1, blue.
Easily, because again, a lot of it feels like red side is a lot more telegraphed if you are in SRG's position, right? You're expecting them to ban out the Freya, you're expecting them to ban out the CC as well, which allows you to kind of open up the options even more. And if by chance they do happen to get the Jushin, they're more than happy to first pick it.
Not to mention, by being blue, you're able to set the pace for yourself. You're able to dictate what you're allowed to trade for, and even if you are losing that red side second phase flex, versatility, and openness, you get to close up your draft first by going blue 4-5 and sitting on it. I think that's what SRG needs because of what happened in game 4 where they were so loosey-goosey open about it. They have to tighten up their game. They do that by going blue.
This flying cloud again. It was a difficult time in the dangerous grass for Aurora, and SRG will go blue.
See value in
They
me.
banned the box, they banned the friend.
No.
The 2 wins of Aurora in this game have been through a utility jungler.
Deserved bans from Demon Kite's penultimate performance on both of these monsters.
Gideon, I'm getting mad deja vu. It was in this very same arena about 3 years ago where it's these same heroes that were wreaking havoc in the jungle.
Frustrating as it is, it's very true as well. And coming into this, I do want to see what the adjustments is going to look like, right? Because now, looks like RORA has to make a decision on either banning the CC or getting rid of the Jushin. On the side of SRG, what else is actually worth banning at this point?
Let me just say, in before it happens, the only other legit threat as a utility pick is Redmar's favorite hero.
Give me the panda.
The Akai?
I mean, I thought we were going to see it. I mean, I never want to be hopeful over an Akai because it seems like lately, every time the Akai comes up, it just doesn't do that well, so...
But it's been like here and there, you know, as a roamer, as an exterminator. But in the jungle, the Akai is a legit threat. That's one of the few other options that RORA has left if they want to play in the realm of utility junglers. That or the Barats.
If you want to really run it back, but I don't think we're going to get to that point. Juicy gets taken out. Will it either be the Eve or Kalei as a priority for SRG?
Kind of tough to say here, right? Because if they do lean Yums back into the Kalea, the Yve all of a sudden falls into the hands of Aurora, and they've dealt with the Yve many times before in the previous games, and they know that you just need to get behind them. But it does force out a bunch of Purifies as well.
What if they go use on this time? Oh, they don't. Oh, I actually didn't want to pose this possibility. Because if they go Claude here,
Freya's open.
Freya's open. Aurora are willing to give that Claude up, meaning that they are probably going to go for something like the Leomord style aggressive lineups.
Or they go Freya, Ys, and Shin.
Oh, so that it isn't a little bit too Gila with the aggressiveness and they balance it out. You still need a little bit of farm.
Yeah. This could be potentially scary, right? The Freya would be interesting to see. They go for Kimmy alongside with the Khalid to double down on that mid lane, completely omitting the matchup and saying, you know what, we can wait, let's pose a different problem.
There's no need to rush it. We know that the Claude is here. How Gila would SRG be to lock down both just to fix that matchup? There's no way they're going Claude Freya, so they're open to play whatever they want, and this is... What does this say for Aurora? Are they going for speed? Are they going for the throat here?
I think they want to minimize Yum's impact because they're dealing with Yum's playmaking capabilities. Now it's about how much impact he has in the game. With the Hilda, it's high impact. But now, when you have access to the Khalid, even if you give the Yve on over, hey, you hit me a couple of times, that's fine. I'll heal back up, I'll still clear waves faster than you, and I will always be a threat.
They pick up the Zetian without the Cho or without the Hilda available. Aurora can just spend the next 2 bans here, taking out the best heroes he can pair with the Zetian. As I mentioned, the Cho, as it helps clear out the minion waves much quicker. You know, those heroes that want to pack a concussive blast so that they can get that fast clear. Will they pick up the gold laner here so that they don't have to worry about it too much? And they will. They want a Dominant Guide on a Harith that for a good amount of 2025 was the most feared pick in the hands of Aurora Gaming Philippines.
does mean that Aurora needs to start thinking about the second half of the draft now. They could go back into a sandbag style of EXP laner, but considering the Yuzong performance we saw the last time, the Zitian is going to be a little bit harder to deal with overall, especially when her passive is up.
Yeah, if anything, it's SRG who has room to play maybe the Yuzhong. Again, you're already ruining the formations with the Fury the Phoenix. What more? A rogue dragon flying around. I think Aurora should consider taking out EXP lane options. There's the one. There's the Esmeralda.
Yeah. Not only EXP, but Flex as well. SRG still has some room of flexibility for their roam and EXP combined. So...
I don't know if they're worried about damaged EXP laners, right? Because when I'm looking at the lineup, they're like, yes, there are people who are susceptible, but they also fall to the same tragedy of Alice at the end of the day. And that's something that we've seen SRG whip out multiple times.
And I'm worried because Aurora may have gotten overloaded. A lot of Cram's favorites are still available. The Uranus, the Phoveus,
Yuzong, Alice,
Arlott.
And Arlots usually are one of the responses.
They can't ban all of those.
Yeah, exactly. So it's damage control for Aurora. Well, for Salong or Red Giants, they will be very happy that they have a wide pool of EXP laners that they could go for. Especially if Aurora decide to show their EXP laner already on Blue 4 in the hopes of trying to minimize what Cram can pick, they might just end up with a better matchup.
If I'm reading the draft correctly, Red 4 is going to be for Demon Kite. And then they'll try to win that EXP lane matchup via Red 5. Because again, if Cram doesn't play well, I think it's safe to say, Gideon, you can back me up, SRG just do not take off.
No, not with the ban on the Alice here. I think they're going to go Uranus instead and then hold up for Fanny to maybe potentially attack Stormy in the mid lane pre-level 4.
There you go. They can't ban everything, but they can narrow it down.
I wouldn't be so confident with picking up the Fanny if we are gonna let Yumes get the Cho again, get Cho Zetian together. That's very fast wave clear to set up for Sakai's.
That's why Red 5 is open. That's what RORA's hedging on.
I will choose my own
There's the
path.
Arlott. I like the Uranus because then SRG would want to pick up the Lapu Lapu, but they won't really have a lot of the damage to annoy that Uranus as much. But hell, it's Edward. He might just end up saying, Coach, give me something explosive. Give me something that can set up and be aggressive.
If we do see the Uranus here, I think it's going to be Kalia Lapu or Kalia Yuzong for the side of SRG.
This land is our homeland.
Oh, they take Lapu. What?
I think it is what I said. It was like, Coach, let me be me.
There's room for the Yi Sun Shin still. So I think they're both protecting the Yi Sun Shin and just picking up good peel. And again, taking it away as well from Cram.
It just means that Rora is going to be playing towards the gold side of their map, right? Because they don't know what the Lapu Lapu is going to deal with. He's kind of going in blind into this draft. So whether he quote-unquote wins the matchup or not isn't really up to him.
And I think SRG can also just pick up the Uranus so they can kind of stop this imminent Yi Sun Shin threat.
But what if it is going to be utility for Aurora, though? I mean, they are going to be lacking the vision, and the Mountain Shocker would be great against a Zetian. Yes, I will say it now. Yi Sun Shin is the most likely pick. But what if it is utility? What if they are looking at Lapu Lapu and Kali thinking we have enough physical, let's set up for our magic damage dealers and let's pick up utility in the jungle.
Wow.
Left. SRG here, lock in the CC for Cram and the Gatot for Yumes. What utilities left besides the Barats and the Akai? It's even Guinevere got banned.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Just give me my Panda. I mean, yeah, again, Wise is most likely, but just give me my Panda.
Because I'm also 50-50 on this.
Prepare for the return.
There it is! There it is! We alluded to it! Oh, we're pretty good at this. We could be analysts.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Again, really good call here. If they went for the Yi Sun Shin, it would just be too much economy to invest. But what a composition. And I think even from the side of SRG, they were alluding to it with the CC.
They look deep for this.
I will say this now, though. This is so close, and I'm glad that the stats show it. Early to mid-game potential leaning towards Aurora. Late-game potential, a little bit more SRG recovers there. The stats are leaning towards Aurora. But this is definitely one of those lineups where you cannot mess up. Perfect MLBB is what's needed. Who are we feeling for these drafts? Real quick, Gideon.
I'm going to say SRG on this one.
I didn't call the Akai for nothing. Let's go, Aurora!
I'm guessing RORA here. This will be legendary. This will determine who makes it to the grand finals first. Mirko and Naisu set the stage for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last game of the evening. We've had a hell of a series, and now it's come down to this, a game of 5 to get to the grand final. Will it be the first ever for the Malaysians to make it an M-Series grand final, or will it be RORA to make it their way to be the first Filipino team in M7 to get to the grand final spot? Here we are, it's me, Naisu, and Mirko to bring you this game 5.
And either way, Naisu, what a story. The first Malaysian team to make it to a World Championship, or Aurora Gaming Philippines, a team coming into this tournament with a narrative of the chokers, the ones who always fail when it matters most, the one that finally gets to shine the brightest in the world stage.
Be massive either way, man. The story couldn't be better for either team to make it through, and you know, to even go through this draft and bring an Akai, for example, a utility hero that doesn't get picked up pretty much at all. But because of the way the draft and the bans went, and because there was a really hard focus on Demon Kite's utility picks, he goes to the Akai. And you always have to remember, like, this hero alone could either work for your team or against it.
Okay. I thought it was going to be a big miscalculation there, not hitting level 4, but he ends up getting the XP crab anyways, so really, it's all good. Emblems-wise, I don't think there's anything too crazy here, right? It really looks like just the standard stuff. The Impure Rage for Demon Kite, I guess he's just thinking there's not going to be any invades, he's going to be fine because he's up against a Leomord, not an assassin, right? Skies, Phantom Steed over on Light, has the Flicker, will use it, and now Phantom Steed is down, so Aurora have a chance.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Even though the Flicker was used by Light, Turtle's up, Demon Kite's going to go ahead and start it up. Cram hitting that level 4 too, so they'll get in position for the first Turtle of the game, but without a Phantom Steed, this might be a little difficult.
And all in over on Yumes, Fury of the Phoenix coming down, 4-man stun as well. Cram now from the side, pops in the current call, does a bit of damage over the Demon Kite, but the red tree is there for him to claim Turtle 1.
It's all they need, clean and steady right now. First objective secured. Nothing too fancy with this kind of lineup. That's not what you're going to see here. Now for SRG, they might be the ones to be a little more aggressive because of the fact that they brought the Leomord in play, plus they have the Zetian that they can rely on. And again, Innocent going on this hero that he's played so many times, is able to go ahead and scale up really well on this Claude. The same can be said for Demon Kite. There was a thing, you know, back in the MPL Philippines, he was the best Harith in the league and probably the best still. So this is such a great matchup, you know, that Harith, that Claude that we've been seeing so much throughout the Swiss stage. And even now, even though he was kind of slept on a little bit in the beginning stage of the knockouts, Claude is still a menace to deal with. And so with that, again, you're just going to see a whole lot of poking back and forth. You know, this is a little bit different too because we've seen so much of Cho, for example, where you're playing around that level 4, the Kaleas, right, the pick-off potential.
He's going to be caught on the Raging Sandstorm there. Good timing by Doming. They're actually waiting around the BMI, and he actually gets the resets too. So I'm not even sure if Innocent actually got the gold crab, but he lost that on Purify, and now he's low.
He's low right here. He's going to have to rely on SRG just in case they need to support him up here in that gold lane. But Doming Kite fine, unless they go for something else. SRG might be looking for a play elsewhere. They still have 30 seconds for that turtle to be up. Demon Kite, again, tanky enough. One of the players that still really likes to lean towards utility junglers if they can. I mean, we saw a really good kind of back and forth between the utility compositions, but teams were still pretty much, I would say, like almost 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, pick up assassin junglers. Demon Kite, a specialist, I would say, as utility jungle. So buff secured, Turtles up, second one of the game. Aurora Gaming Philippines already in position. Light has the angle here if he wants to go for it. Traction pulse.
Yeah, lands on Stormy, a bit more pro coming down as the Brave Spider gets used up by Edward. Now with the stun on 2. Fury of the Phoenix as well. Sky's looking for the opening now, but Demon Kite goes in and it's giving the victory win. He goes for the heavy spin. Now Sky's gonna be pinned down over to Turtle.
Oh, Sakai's pinned down. Can't get away. First blood to Demon Kite and the second Turtle.
What a pin up top. Doming gets a shot down. Oh my goodness, he might be going for the dive, but he misses the synchro vision and he calls it quits. Demon Kite up top with the pressure. This is the systematic Aurora Gaming Philippines in a Game 5, bro. They went back to their comfort.
This is back to the roots, right? That, oh no, Yums, is he gonna get zoned in here?
The escape. I don't think Rora want to bite on this pick, yeah. Instead, they rotate back. They just go for the turret now. That's going to be the shots coming in from Stormy as Demon Kai gets taken low, but Silango Red Giants can't push in forward.
They had to do that, though. At least Yums was there to go ahead and keep that turret alive, even though it just got a sliver of health left. They keep that going. Now, looking at the itemization here, first item's already locked in for the gold laners, DHS for Innocent. You got the Starlium Sight now for Doman Kite. Defensively, too, things being a whole lot of tough boots, of course, to deal with that crowd control, but only that Fury Hammer, and still Sakai is working on that first item here for this Leo Mord. And same thing, I mean, Stormy on the Zenith, whoa, they're not stopping.
1v1, BMI out with the Blazing Wind already used. Light now comes in with damage, raging Sandstorm from Light. The Fury of the Phoenix catches him on their turret, so at least there's a trade as Demon Cat's gonna be chased down as Skies pops the Steed. But again, he just rotates up top. He will deny the turret take.
Great response, but a better trade for Aurora Gaming Philippines. You know, you're trading out your gold laner for the roam. Light goes down, but here's Yums.
Heavy spin, pinning him down. Pops gonna revitalize in time, but can he escape? No, the Synchrovision pops him through.
They got the payback for the roam right there as they lock down Yums. So a great response once again. That turret's still gonna stay up. Third turtle of the game here in a few seconds. Now the War Axe available to Skies. He's got that. He's got his buff as well. He actually wants to go ahead and contest this, though. As Demon Kite's grabbing his purple. Light's giving the information over here, but they're going to be able to rotate just in time for this turtle.
That's so much damage on Skies. Half HP. AOG coming out with Raging Sandstorm from Light. And Demon Kite with the retreat gets it. Innocent pops in a blazing duet.
Demon Kite's done it again, and now they're going to be going for Yums.
Cram in the midst of it all. Pops in a curtain call. Now going for the chase, but it's going to be the Kite away. Now it's Edward onto Stormy, forcing the flicker out as Doming goes up top. Doesn't have some on force. Light goes in over the Cram, but it gets away in time with the sprint. Meanwhile, Edward in mid again, holding Innocent and Yums down.
Ooh, it looks like SRG is just trying to catch their breath in this Game 5. If it's not Demon Kite securing the objectives, it's Edward crashing on, forcing battle spells down. Light on this side of the map, behind enemy lines. There's Demon Kite.
Finds Innocent, Purify out there. Fear of the Phoenix coming down, but Doming gets the turret. Now Cram looking for the trade, pops in the curtain call. Edward in the midst of it all. Now too much done by Edward. Sky still able to escape with the help of the Yums. Demon Kite goes in with the headbutt.
Oh, Sakai's is gone. This is all on the side of the jungle of SRG. They'll capitalize another kill and the buff. Aurora Gaming Philippines is not letting up at all. They've got control of this game.
And with every fight they take, they push the lead a bit more towards them. It started off as a 1K gold lead. I swore in the early game, it looked like, all right, SRG are gonna scale, they're gonna try to play it slow, but then they go for these fights and you're like, okay, it looks even, some of these trades. Then Light comes in with a big Raging Sandstorm. Edward gets a big chunk of damage of AoE with the slashes.
These are some of the most comfort picks that Aurora Gaming Philippines has played in the last professional season of the MPL Philippines, and they're showcasing it here today in Game 5. And even for SRG, you could say these are comfort picks too, to an extent. But right now, they're just getting outmaneuvered around the map. And that's the power always of when you think you have this utility jungler, you can move the way you want to move around the map, you can find that lockdown that you're looking for, and it just layers so well. So for SRG, if they want to approach this in the best way possible, it's all on that scaling for Innocent. He's got to be able to get there. He still has plenty of time. He is behind though, right? You're at the 9-minute mark. Again, that Trinity for the Claude usually before the 10-minute mark. He does pick up a golden staff, so he's down one item on this. And that's very difficult. Here's the Lord fight though. Are they gonna take it?
Light was able to bait out the passive of Stormy already. Look at how fast they're blitzing the Lord. Traction pulse over Innocent, able to bring him back, and that's Demon Kite securing Lord 1. Aurora pulling no stops.
Man, I don't know how you stop this Panda, man. Demon Kite on the Sakai. It's one of the better heroes. I know it's slept on in the draft, but it's still one of the better heroes to go ahead, secure objectives. If anybody gets close, you can usually heavy spin them away to get that retribution off. And they're gonna take this tier 2 tower up top as Demon Kite just stares down SRG, threatening them to force a fight if they want to. Holy Crystal now online. Over here for Demon Kite. Just checking things out with the Raging Sandstorm.
Wanted to bait a few resources,
Yeah.
right? Innocent just backs away with the BMI. But again, this lead is getting to a point where it's a big problem. Like Selangor Red Giants, they have Innocent to scale. Zetian, I'm guessing as well. Traction Pulse baits out the BMI. But they don't really have a body right now. Sky's a 0-3-0. And I don't think he can pull off an Edward on Yuzong type of 0-3-0, Brian.
Yeah, this is going to be way more difficult to make it worth for Cram and the rest of the team of SRG. You know, you waited 10.5 minutes. You got to start to make something happen here because you're in this last game, this game 5, with that potential chance to get to the grand final on the line here for both of these teams. But look at the difference in itemization across the board. It's tough, man. Yum's probably the closest here amongst it all. Yeah, he's only 600 gold difference, but I'll tell you what, the impact of Light right now in this Khalid is just doing so much more than what Yums is capable of doing. If that means just getting the passive out from Stormy, if that means getting some of the battle spells, and even then, the Raging Sandstorm is threat enough, and Light knows it. And that's why they're able to go ahead and play that upper hand. Also, on the gold lane, you still need so much more time for Innocent here. He's building into that Corrosive Scythe. But even so, if that Trinity is online, it's going to be a hell of a time to get into the fight, man, because of the fact that you have Nakai to worry about. You have also Light there peeling for the team, or starting things up in Edward as well. So now this purple buff for the taking from SRG. You're still plenty of time, 40 seconds away from this Lord to come up.
And now SRG are forced to, again, group up together. Stick is 3 into the bottom lane. They're being starved by RORA Gaming Philippines right now. There's no way for them to actually just brute force walk into their own jungle alone. And Light's been able to take these poke like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Stormy, this is a 100% win rate Zetian, right? Is it still a 100% win rate? I believe so. So, oh my, Innocent? PMI already. Light wants to go in. Raging Sandstorm! Innocent pops in the Blazing Duet. And he pops in a Purify as well. That's big Edward. 2-man stun with the Bravest Fighter. Now goes back. That is all they need.
Oh, okay. Fury of the Phoenix used there too. Keeping things under control. But the Lord is up now. Battle spell down. That's the Purify for Innocent. And so, if SRG is thinking about contesting this Lord, it's probably not going to happen.
They cannot. Not without a Purify on the main man.
They just gotta wait, they gotta buckle in as Lord is gonna be secured here for Aurora Gaming Philippines. At the 12:40 minute mark, Divine Glaive picked up now too for Dome and Kite. And they have everything they need to approach this base of SRG. I'm not saying they can end it here, but with this kind of lead, 8,000+ gold at this point, this type of itemization and this composition could potentially end it off of a first Lord push.
Demon Kite, over the course of, I would say, the run to get it to upper bracket finals, has been behind against Carl Teasy in gold, losing out individually against, again, I feel like also against Izuki, losing out individually in gold. And it's usually because he's on a utility pick. Now he's on a Kai, and he's 2,000 gold ahead of Skies.
Like, who else is going to play the Akai? Other than maybe Demon Kite and, I don't know, Carl Teasy.
Can't think of anyone else who's still in MLBB.
Right? It's one of those things, yeah. And there's Redmar. I can hear him in my ear, man. Redmar will probably play it too. He is him.
Gotta get that check.
Gotta get that check. There's the Lord pushing into this bottom turret. They want to go ahead and potentially force this.
Innocent already with the BMI. That's gonna be the Lord taking down the base turret in the bottom lane. This is quite big, but it's not the worst for Selangor Red Giants, just because, again, Lord's gonna be spawning in the bottom lane, so they'll be able to handle it here. Light!
Well, look at Sky. He's going on this off angle too. Is he actually going to initiate a fight from this angle? No, they cleared out the minions. Lord is cleared as well. They lost one base turret. And so this, more than anything, is Aurora Gaming Philippines knowing that they're up 10,000 gold, but sticking to mastering the basics here, man. I hate to say it, right? But they are doing exactly that. They're sticking with the basics. They're sticking to the fundamentals. And every team will go ahead and say how important that is. Even when you have this kind of lead, you can't lose that focus.
Oh,
and Steed.
Oh, Steven Kite in with a headbutt. That's gonna be Light caught on the back spot, taunt it down as well by Yums. Here the Phoenix locking him down to AOG as well onto Edward, but he is CC immune with the Bravest Fighter.
Yums does not want to, okay, he doesn't have AOG. This is interesting though. SRG just kind of keeping Aurora Gaming in check, but here's the re-engage. Zaman force drop down. And it's just the answer, the response from Aurora Gaming.
How is it still so tense with a 10,000 gold lead, dude?
The crazy thing is 1-5 in terms of the kills, right? But
Yeah.
there's this tension in this game 5 between these two teams because I just think it's at what's stake here, Miracle. It's that grand final spot. It's a huge story for both teams to get there, and SRG they understand that we got to go ahead and just buckle in. We need to go ahead and scale up. Like I said, your Innocent is nearly there. He's got to get a little bit of defensiveness, obviously. Win in nature, we've also seen Winter Crowns pop up too. Might be the case in this sense if they can extend it. I don't know, 5+ minutes. They got to get to the 20-minute mark, I feel like here. Divine Glaive picked up by Stormy though. This 5 for the Lord, looks like they want to actually contest this Lord though, if they can.
But can they? Traction Pulse already baited out there. Light already backing away. Now the bottom wave. They have to deal with it. But Doming and Demon Kite are still holding on to it. Silango Red Giants say, we cannot contest. Aurora Gaming Philippines secure the Lord. Huh? Whoa. Skies?
I think the Phantom Seed might have been just thrown out there just to see if he could get the orange buff. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, they knew they couldn't fight and contest. So they'd rather go ahead and defend into the base. Malefic Gun actually picked up here.
Wow.
Now. 4 Innocent might be just saying, you know what? Let's just make this defense count. Let's make this one potentially turn it around. We need a crucial defense to stay in this. As Lord makes its way down the bottom side, Conceal's going to be used.
It's going to be popped as well, though. Edward goes in with the Bravest Spider, now jumps all the way into the backline, but Innocent's able to pop in a blazing away to get sustained. Win a crown already from Edward, and now the base. Beauty of the Phoenix.
Oh, they get stunned here. Check, the Lord is going to be worked on.
Wow.
And it looks like SRG, even with 11,000 gold deficit, will still be able to defend.
That was... Wait, Yums takes a long route over. Cram dives onto Edward with the current call, but now he's caught in a bad spot. He has to sprint. He's able to get away. Light with the Raging Sandstorm and the Flicker. Now it's Cram turning things around with the help of Yums as well. He goes for the taunt as Innocent's right there. Doming!
There's a jump on the defense. They want to disengage, and it looks like Aurora wants to do the same. Oh. This is the tension we've been talking about. Wow.
Folks, my heart is beating so hard right now, and it's not the Red Bull. It's not the Red Bull, it's the game.
Oh man, this game has wings. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't even know how SRG has been able to go ahead and have such great base defense. Aurora Gaming, even playing around that Lord, man, they just haven't been able to get much use out of the Lords.
At least now it's value, because even with that Lord not getting anything,
yeah.
Look at where the next Lord placement is. It's up top, so they have the far lane control in the bottom lane without having to do anything, right? So
yeah.
That's a win still for Aurora Gaming Philippines. The only loss they took there is the scaling of SRG. Now, Innocent has more time to build up to either a Winter Crown, probably win a crown, not win a nature here.
Mirko, the impressive thing is SRG doesn't have anything on the map. Like, they've been able to defend in the base despite...
Not a single turret, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Not a single turret is down. Nothing has gone right in terms of objectives for SRG. But what has gone right is the fact that they've somehow buckled in. They're nearing that 20-minute mark, and that's where I was saying that was the crucial point for them to potentially turn a game around. That's why we always say, even when you're down this much gold, depending on how your composition is and the items that you have, you can still be a threat to this team. And that's why Aurora Gaming Philippines, we say it's discipline, but at some point, at what point do you say, man, they waited way too long. They hesitated too long to end the game. They weren't able to end the game. They love MLBB that much.
They love MLBB, dude.
Almost 20 minutes here. Lord up, evolve this time. This might be the first time that SRG actually decides to contest a Lord here, but Stormy's so far away, Light's going to be able to spot this out as Aurora Gaming Philippines holds on to the Lord. It's under half health.
That wave's not good. Stormy has to rotate, but Light is holding this position already. They're holding it in, just barely at the edge of it. Edward with the Bravest Fighter coming down now. Skies also on the Phantom Seed. Light in the back line, able to bomb into Purify. Phoenix Light's going to be caught. He's able to heal in time. Good stun by Edward. Demon can't get him, but now Cram walks in forward. Light pops in, Conceal. Aurora Gaming Philippines get the Evolved Lord.
That is a massive lure to walk in to potentially end the game. And as I've been saying for SRG, they have defended time and time again. The Giants will not have their fortress taken so easily. Can they do it again? They have to. That's the only option they have. Light still has an immortality. The Lord finally spawning and making its way down the bottom side here. How can they pull this off? SRG, they've got to almost have a miracle for this one.
They played it perfect in the last Lord fight, but it's hard to do it when it's an evolved Lord.
Yeah.
Aurora can just stack up around the Lord. And look at the turn in the mid lane, it's so low.
Half health here, under half health for that mid turret. Lord makes its way down the bot. They've got to deal with it here.
Fraction pulse doesn't land on anyone. Now it's going to be Innocent, trying to deal as much damage as possible as Edward dives into the back. Innocent pops into the blazing win over on Edward, but this raging stack just comes through. They're fighting on the Lord. Demon Kai already using a heavy spin. That's going to be Yums jumped away from Fury the Phoenix.
Fury the Phoenix is using, they're still going.
They deal with the Lord, live with the raging sandstorm. Yums still able to survive Innocent. BMI to the back as Doming already uses his Amon Force. Mid lane base turn with ball. How the Selangor Red Giants hold on to this game.
Selangor Red Giants won't have the base taken so easily.
Against an evolved Lord.
Man, they still do it. They don't have any space to work with, no base, no turrets down, but they're still showing that they can defend and fight against Aurora Gaming. That is an evolved Lord that was dealt with in the best way possible.
We are still at 6 kills.
That hasn't changed in a while, Miracle. I mean, 6 kills, no turrets.
When was the last time one of them died, dude?
I'll tell you what, I don't know if that's the pro of having this kind of lineup for Aurora Gaming, or for SRG, and the con of Aurora Gaming's lineup. It works so good in the beginning, but you know, at this point of the game, they're having a difficult time actually punching it in and ending it, you know? And we have seen this when it has been utility compositions and that require a setup that has to be perfect. This is the trouble. Winter Crown now available for Innocent.
And a rose gold too, nice Sue. He sold his boots. He's bootless. Man's barefoot.
Barefoot Claude. A Winter Crown 2 for Sakai's. Fight with this Lord again. Look at Light's positioning. What are they going to do? Traction pulse thrown out?
Wait, Cram already used the curtain call. It's on Yue. Light has a very, very good flank on him. Zetian, does he spot him out? He's able to spot him out now as Edward goes able to stun. Fury the Phoenix, locking him down. Edward losing immortality. Now Sky's going to go in as well, but he's going to be pinned down by Demon Kai, and no one's there to actually dish out damage. Skies will fall to Yue.
They take out Sakai's, they can get the Lord!
Blazing new weapon Innocent with the Winter Crown as well. Demon Kai's going to be taken very, very low, but he's able to buy immortality in time. Doming in the back as well, doing this with the stop. Cram still there doing damage in his heart.
Innocent's still alive, and he gets the space, but Domikai will take him out!
He got cooked by the Chrono Dash. Domang has all the shields in the world. Now it's Yums who falls. Cram has immortality. He's going to fall as well. Involved Lord in the mid lane as Cram dishes out damage to Light, but he's going to be gunned down by Yue.
And that's going to be it as the Lord makes its way down the mid with Aurora Gaming.
The stage that once haunted them now rises for them. The Northern Lights do not fade. It ignites the grand finals.
That ignition, that light will be witness to the entire world. A chance at redemption, a chance at history, and a chance to prove the doubters wrong. Aurora Gaming Philippines makes it to the grand finals in an epic 3-2 series against SRG.
Oh, the chokers, the failures, the boys who were doubted, the boys who were never meant to be, have just made it to the grand finals. Defeating Selangor Red Giants, who to this point were undefeated at the M7 World Championship. They were the ones to get to match point first, yet Aurora PH stayed consistent. They built, they endured, and now they'll light up the grand final stage.
Again, one of the best matches we've seen here. And again, it's not over for SRG. They still have an opportunity, a chance to get to the grand finals. They go down in the lower bracket, man, and I'll say what, like Aurora Gaming Philippines grinded for this one, and they made it happen.
Nice too. That lower